Welcome everyone, and thank you for tuning in to the Firewire ePro USA presented by Futures Live Awards. We can't thank you enough for participating in this event and voting throughout it to help us determine our heat winners. Without you, this event wouldn't be possible. We'd like to thank our sponsors, Firewire, Futures, Simba, and the Surf Open League for helping make this event work. And we're going to have a great show for you today. We're bringing on event director and surf legend Darren Brillhart. We'll also have our semifinalists Rob Kelly and Cade Matson joining. And finally, we're going to have our finalists Kei Kobayashi and Ko Hujman joining to end out the show and see who won this whole thing. This event has taken place during the last 2 weeks, being the 9th stop along the Surf Web Series Online Championship Tour. We want to thank the audience for cheering and supporting these surfers from the safety of their homes. This platform has allowed athletes from all around the world to continue competing and to put on a show for fans, despite the current global situation. Surf Web Series was created in Mexico by Gary Linden, a massive legend in the surfing global community, a great visionary, and also a surf and environmental promoter, along with Gustavo Duccini, who's been doing events for as long as we can remember. So we want to thank everyone who's been a part of this. Thank you again for tuning in, and we haven't forgotten about our fans. And we'd like to start this thing off with our big Simba and Firewire giveaways. So starting things off with our Simba winners. These guys all won helmets. Green Creek Outfitter, Jack831, Desatnik Foundation, Braden on Board, Kiana831, Chief Foxy, that's a good one, Kieran Ware, Danny Jets, Kamale Wilmot, and Frying Pan Sound. Congratulations, guys, on your helmets. Be sure to DM us your contact information and we'll get those to you right away. And now our big Firewire board giveaway. This person is going to take home a Firewire surfboard. And the winner is Danny Jets. Big win for Danny Jets today, getting a helmet and a board. Congratulations, bud. So thank you to everyone who entered. And be sure to DM us your information. We'll get these things to you as soon as possible. Congratulations to our winners and thanks for tuning in. We're going to take a commercial break and be back with our first guest, the one and only Darren Brillhart. So stay tuned, everybody. All right, welcome back, everybody, to the live awards from the Firewire ePro USA presented by Futures. We are joined now by a very special guest. If you know this guy in the surfing world, you know this guy. This is Darren Brillhart. He's our event coordinator and a legend all to himself. How you going, Brill?
Doing good, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man, good to see you again. Just a little intro for the people at home who may not know who you are.
I run events here in America, and I enjoy what I do. And it's been a weird year with COVID-19, so there hasn't been really any events happening for the past. It's been actually a whole year as of last weekend. But yeah, that's what I do, and I run my own company, Brillo Productions. I do events from CT events to QS events to local Grom events, and I enjoy doing what I do. So.
Exactly, you run it all, and it's been awesome just seeing what you've been doing. Like, I mean, you started your even pro career back in the day, like surfing the trestles at the OP Pros and all the good stuff. So you've got your ankles, you got your roots in there.
Yeah, I was fortunate enough to able to compete when I was younger. And then I was a team manager for a number of years with Rusty, and that was a lot of fun. But, other than that, just been doing events and enjoying it.
Absolutely. Well, now you're running this one. So we got you on the online gig.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, we'll get right into it. This event's been really fun to watch. We've seen some of the best young talents in the U.S. compete. Just submitting insane clips from anywhere from lowers to Rob Kelly on the East Coast, all the way up to Santa Cruz. Like, what have been some of the highlights for you?
First, there's a lot of highlights. The guys were ripping, a lot of incredible clips. But it's weird. It's tough judging, and it's weird to see, clips from the East Coast versus clips out here on the West Coast, and barrels versus turns and all that. But it's been exciting to watch and seeing the process. And it's been challenging. I'm also a sitting judge as well on this. And, when you're trying to compare a New Jersey barrel to a lowers clip, that can have its challenges in itself. But it's been a lot of fun, and I've been enjoying doing it.
Yeah, it's been super fun to watch. And then you jumped on this event as an event director, judge. You got, all the hats on. Just going back, have you kind of seen some of the other events and saw what this thing was all about, and then just kind of jumped on board?
Yeah, I mean, I was watching, all the other events take place, and I thought South Africa had some of the best waves. I really enjoyed watching that, from Jeffreys Bay to Durban to, all the other locations. So that was pretty cool to see some spots I've never seen before. You kind of get to see possibly some secret spots. But I thought that was pretty cool. Europe was great as well. Australia, Chile, Mexico, all the stops were incredible to watch and follow. And I was just looking forward to, everything coming out here at the USA and seeing what we have to offer, from the East Coast and the West Coast.
Yeah, and the boys put on a show, that's for sure. We're actually going to take a look back through the event highlights, or not even highlights, sorry, the graphics from the last few events, and see who's qualified for the World Championships already as we prepare for our semifinalists to join us in a little bit. This event has Rob Kelly, Cole Hogeman, Kei Kobayashi, and Cade Matson all going to the World Championships to join, our Ready Surfers qualified. It's going to be nuts. We have one more event left to see who joins those guys. And we'll take a quick look back and kind of see who the heavy hitters are.
All right, let's have a look.
All right, let's take a look, yeah. All right, so looking at these names from South Africa, you got Dale Staples, Sophie Bell, Shane Sykes, Zoe Stein, Chad Dutoit, Faye Zoemolder, Josh Redmond, and Sierra Knight. The South Africa qualifiers, they just absolutely went after it. What's something from South Africa that you remember, Brillo?
I just remember the barrels. I mean, they were just incredible barrels. There were some, really good maneuvers as well. But when I think it was maybe Durban or even some sections at South Africa or down in J Bay, that really stood out to me.
Absolutely. And then we moved on to the E-Pro Chile, which featured some of the best lefts in the world. I mean, you had guys like Guillermo Sat, Christopher Harold, Christian Morelo, and Eric Bustos just going ballistic, really. And it ended up being Guillermo Sat's wave at Arica that won the event. You've seen that wave in person, or you remember that wave at all?
Well, I definitely didn't see it in person, but I do remember it, and it was incredible. Yeah, and it was great timing. It's all about timing as far as when you want to, present your waves and then have the final wave, and that final wave needs to be one of the best, to win that final. So.
Absolutely. And do you ever go to Arica back in the day when even Andy, I remember Andy took a win there, Andy Irons.
Yeah, I remember that. That was a long time ago, but incredible.
Yeah, that wave's insane. And then we moved on to the Land of the Rising Sun with the E-Pro Japan. And we had Tensei Owami taking out that one with Shohei Kaito, Yuko Ogawa, and Kaito Kirikawa, all kind of just putting on a clinic throughout their entire event. And it was Owami's Chiba barrel that ended up giving him the win over Shohei Kaito. I mean, these guys just kind of showcase what Japan really can do. Japan's never been really known for its waves until you see what a storm can produce there.
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of variety of different breaks, and it was cool to see.
Definitely. And then we headed over to the E-Pro Brazil, and this is where you start seeing a lot of familiar faces. You had former championship tour guys, you had big wave stars. They all just put on a show, and we had Thiago Camaral winning the event over former championship tour surfer Ian Gouveia. And looking at the rest of the list, it was big wave guy Lucas Chianca. Chumbo was on with us last event. That was fun. And Renan Polga, who actually took out a couple of East Coast heats, and he won an event in the Outer Banks. That guy's insane. So Brazil came in stacked.
Yeah, again, exciting to watch.
And then if you look through Mexico, it was Alan Cleland and Sebastian Williams going head to head for that heat. And at the end of the day, it was Sebastian Williams who kind of laid his claim. And he's one of the best guys in the world right now. Like, the guy's just kind of blowing up. And this event also included women. We had Shelby Detmers, Regina Pioli, and these girls just put on a show as well. Alexa Sabelos and Saya Brusa. They all just kind of showed up to put on a show for the world as well. How good is it when you see the women join in, Brill?
Oh, that was unreal. That was exciting. Shelby, actually, I know her well. She resides here in Newport Beach. I know that she's originally from Mexico, but I surf with her quite a bit, and she has she performed well, and she ended up winning that final. And it was exciting to see because so many variety of waves. And I think Shelby won on a wave, on a one maneuver wave. It was just a very critical maneuver, and she got the nod for the win.
Yeah, she was on fire that event. I didn't see anyone really stopping her.
Yeah.
And then heading into Australia, we had Reef Hazelwood, of course, just one of the best aerial antic guys in the world, putting on a showcase throughout the event. And then he ended up taking out Sheldon Simkis in the final. But they also had Thomas Carvalho and Corbin Hutchings join them into the world championships. Australia is going to be kind of a country to reckon with. What do you think?
Oh, without a doubt. Reef, standout. He actually performed really well at the U.S. Open a couple years back. And that was the first time I saw him live surfing. And he was a standout as well as a wild card on one of the CP events. So he's looking in form. Absolutely.
And then heading over to Peru, another land of the lefts, like South America, you can get clips for days down there, and the boys and girls didn't disappoint. We had Luca Messinas, well-decorated surfer, take out the men's event. And then we had Sofia Milanovic, former world champion for the WSL. She took out the women's, and they're joined by Alonso Correa, Melanie Gainta, Thomas Tudelia, Kalea Gervasi, Cristobal De Cole, and Rena Rodriguez. Peru's coming in with some heavy hitters for the guys and women. Just watching Tomas Tudela, like, he was, flying under the radar for a little bit and then exploded. But Luca Messinas at Cabo Blanco was not to be stopped.
Yeah, that was fun watching that event. Incredible waves and super exciting. Long barrels.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, those lefts are just super fun. And then we headed to the old country, headed over to Europe for the ePro Europe. And same thing, these guys Miguel Blanco was, start to finish. I don't think he lost a heat. Just putting barrel clip after barrel clip. He took down Stanley Norman heading into the final against Neko Perry. And those boys, just between Neko's Edeseo waves and then Miguel Castrillon putting on his show over at Mundaka. You're looking at some of the best waves in the world.
Yeah, kind of underground guys. I've never really heard of these guys or seen them surf before, but they put on a show. They're heavy barrels and again, super exciting to watch the Europe event. Yeah,
just the boys were going nuts throughout the entire thing. And, then we headed to USA where we are now. And, we all put a lot of work into trying to get some of these guys in here, and they delivered.
Yeah. I wish we would have got a few more entries from the East Coast, but Rob Kelly and Michael Dunphy were holding it down for the East Coast, and Rob making it to the semis. Showcasing barrels only.
Yeah.
And we saw some of the finest barrels, there is in New Jersey. And they had a really good winner too.
Yeah, absolutely. And we got, barrel clips for days coming from Rob, I'm sure. Like, we just got the surface from him. And so we're going to move into our next segment. So stay tuned, fans at home watching. We appreciate you tuning in. We're just going to take a quick commercial break to thank our sponsors, and we'll be right back. Thank you so much, Brilla, for joining in.
Yep. Thanks for having me.
You. All right, and we're back for the live awards of the Firewire ePro USA presented by Futures, and now we're joined by not one special guest, but we got another. Cade Matson, welcome to the show. Thanks for coming in, man.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Stoked to be here.
How's your morning going?
It's good. Just cruising around town, trying to get some waves, and yeah, just cruising.
So yeah, going through this event, you made a couple big statements early on with your, trestles rights, and then just, the combos you were throwing in were nuts. How was your wave selection coming into it?
I mean, I kind of just went through my camera roll, and I was just, all I could really find was lower splits because I surfed there all summer, so kind of just put all my clips from the whole summer and just chucked them in there and see how it went. And yeah, it went good. Stoked how the contest went.
Definitely. You made it to the semis. You're in the world championship. So now you can go a little bit deeper into that hard drive, huh?
Yeah. I think are we able to use any waves from around the world in the worlds?
We'll have to double check that. I believe, we'll see how we go with that.
Okay.
I know you can recycle clips, so you can use some of the ones that maybe you thought were, the standout ones for you, and then
Sick.
in there,
mental.
So yeah, kind of looking back at this, what was kind of the hardest heat that you kind of saw on paper heading into it?
I guess the heat with Kay, I know he gets a lot of votes and stuff like that, but that guy's always scoring waves around the state. Seems like every time it's good, that guy's getting a crazy clip somewhere. So yeah, that heat was probably one of the harder ones. I knew I was gonna go into it I'm gonna have a lowers clip. He's probably gonna have a big barrel or something. But he had that Hail Mary arrow that was crazy. So yeah, that was a good heat.
Yeah, that arrow was just, I still can't believe he landed that. I thought he was going down. I was like, oh, that was a cool little huck at the end. Oh, wait, what?
Yeah. I know.
And then Brillo, kind of looking back through this one, watching Cade progress, did you see him just kind of getting better and better? Did you think, okay, maybe he's saving, did he peak too soon? What was your thought?
Well, just like Cade said, he had just so many clips to use. And, and it's hard to place the clips at the right moment because you don't know, in the early rounds, you don't know who you're going to go up against. And then once it goes into the rounds where you can change your clips, you still really don't know what the other, guys that you're going up against are gonna have. So, it looked like Cade, he used a crazy barrel in the beginning, and then he went to his go clips at lowers, and he had so many of them, and it looked like he saved the best for last. But that semifinal against you, Cade, it was tough because you have such good flow on your maneuvers and you had so much variety, and but just the criticalness on his last arrow was so inverted that even though it wasn't a super clean ride out, it just slightly edged over your wave for him to get into the final. But super exciting to watch.
Yeah,
tilted the scale just a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And speaking of going back through some event highlights, we actually have the USA recap. We're just going to take a look through that and kind of talk through it. Cade, I'm sure we'll see some of you in here.
Yeah.
All right.
Sick.
All right. So looking back, the Firewire ePro USA presented by Futures, round one, right off the bat, Kevin Scholes just going to town. Cade, you know this guy all too well.
Yeah, I've been seeing him the last few mornings. He's been ripping really hard.
Yeah, now you got
he's got crazy clips. This guy's
Leslie's gnarly. And then here's that cylinders clip from Kay. Brillo, what's this thing doing?
Yeah, that was mental. He actually was wondering if that's a make or not, and it was a make, but it was pretty close.
For sure. And then look at this guy. Who's this guy?
Yeah, that was a fun. I remember that day I was with Griffin and Jet.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Gosh, just Halstead throwing in a barrel to start with. That was nuts. I mean, round one just started us off on fire, and then Rob Kelly's savior wave right here. This one kept him going.
This guy's a barrel.
Yeah, it was crazy barrel. Elimination round right here. So this was a tough one, round two.
Definitely, and then really, 56th Street all too well.
Right. Yep. And then Dumpty here with the 2-turn combo, but it was that turn right there. It's the reason why he got through to the next round.
Definitely. And then this guy, Ben Benson, kind of creeped through this event under the radar, made it all the way to the quarters.
Yeah, he did.
And then we got Cole, just going nuts.
Combo chain.
I mean, Cade, surfing with Cole at lowers, and then we got you right here just starting off with that turn. Like, what's going through your head when this is the first section you see on the wave?
I mean, that was a brand new board, so I was kind of just like feeling it out. I think that was like one of my first few waves on it, but yeah, that board felt really good right off the bat.
Yeah, and then you got freaking Kay on the drop wallet, led by Wesley Santos. I mean, lowers lit up this event, and I believe no one lost in a heat with this wave.
Yeah, definitely. Lowers is the best wave for clip sighting in the world.
Exactly, and then like just having that as your backyard. I mean, but then you go over to the East Coast and you got this thing. Oh gosh. And then here it is, just like we were saying, with lowers doing its thing, like how good is that to have a wave this amazing as your home break, so to speak?
Oh yeah, it's insane. It's like the best wave just to work on anything you want, like any combos you want to work on. It's so easy. Just trying to get better in the summer is like the easiest thing ever.
For sure. I mean that you just blew tail in that last one. Then we got Cole here. I mean, the boys are teeing off. Like, and then Brillo heading to the quarters. This is that barrel we were talking about. Yeah,
this is the 10-point ride right here, and he had to use it to get to that semifinals. But that was the winning wave for sure.
Definitely. And then Cade again, just these combos, man, between you and Kay just going back and forth.
Yeah, it's definitely a good wave for clips.
It was definitely the sweeper in this event. Like it, I mean, you look at the final, you had Cole and Kay in the final, both had lowers clips. I mean, Cole doing to his backhand right here. Oh gosh, like there's so many maneuvers you can pull off on this wave. And then the semis, this was the wave that got you, bud.
Yeah, this is the one. The Hail Mary.
Dude. I still am not understanding how this is landing.
I don't know how he stuck his board to his feet on that thing.
He's got
the board.
Right, that foot came off.
Yeah, and then Cole just lighting it up on this one. I love this turn, just letting everything loose. And then just this section here, boom! Like, oh man, you don't get better than that. Cade just going into like the semifinal heat there and seeing those boys go to town. Like, what was something going through your head and seeing these clips drop?
Yeah, I mean, I knew Rob Kelly, he was like that one right barrel he got. I mean, if he used that in like the quarters, I was only like expecting like crazier waves in the semis and stuff like that. So
yeah, I
mean, you never know that. And then Kay, I know he has like crazy clips everywhere, but into like the semis, I feel like felt pretty good with it. But then that one air Kay is just crazy.
Yeah, it was nuts.
Yeah, it was a bummer, but I'm stoked to make it to the semis.
I was to say you're in there. While Kay glitches out a little bit, we'll let him catch up. Brillo, just kind of looking through those highlights, like obviously those were the clips of the clips, so to speak. What's something that you're looking forward to at Worlds with these guys coming into it?
Well, first off, it'd be interesting on if you can use whatever clip from anywhere in the country or anywhere in the world in that fact. So, but if it can only be, from your country using those clips, it's going to be really tough. We're going to be seeing, from J-Bay to Lower Trussels to New Jersey to, Europe. I don't know. It's just going to be really interesting. It's going to be exciting, but it's going to be really challenging.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to stack up against the world and see how you guys go. So it's going to be really fun to watch. But looking forward to seeing you, Cade, again real soon. Thank you so much for joining us, bud.
Of course. Yeah, thank you guys for having me. That was a really sick event. Stoked to be a part of it.
Right on. We'll see you real soon. We're going to go to a quick commercial break again, get a word from our sponsors. Stay tuned for more. We're going to come back with our other semifinalists, none other than Rob Kelly. So stay tuned, and we'll see you soon, Cade.
Thanks, guys. Phew.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the live awards of the Firewire ePro presented by Futures. We are joined, welcome back, Brillo. We are joined now by another legend of the sport. This guy, everybody's been seeing clips of him all over the last 2 weeks. You've been lighting up the internet with those barrels, man. How you doing, Rob?
Awesome, man. Thanks for having me. I've been enjoying this online contest. It's been super fun.
Right on. And then Brillo, like, you guys know each other going way back through all the shop challenges and stuff. Let's talk about all those good memories.
There's been a bunch of good memories, and I enjoy going back east. It's a bit cold for me, but a thick wetsuit and as good as warm, I guess. But I don't know how you guys do it back there, middle winter. Walking out through the snow, jumping in the water every day in that 40-degree water. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's just kind of what I guess we just kind of grew up doing it. We don't really know any different.
Right.
Like in the wintertime, that's when we get our biggest storms, and that's when we get our best swells. So that's why we just go out regardless of the snow, cold, whatever. Probably you guys are probably spoiled, but if you lived out here, I'm sure you guys would be out there doing it too if that was all you got. So
yeah, well, with barrels like that I've been seeing, for sure.
Yeah, that helps motivate you to put the wetsuit on.
Right.
Say wetsuit on in the van and you're out there.
Yeah, that's it. Try to get as many ways as you can before you get too cold. Although the wetsuits these days have gotten so much better that I think people would be surprised. It's not too bad surfing out here in the winter, especially when the weather's good.
So you got them gloves, the booties, you got your 5.6 hood, got your
Yeah, the whole deal. 7 mil booties, 5 mil mittens. The only thing that's out is just a little bit of your face.
God,
we get like this is actually the time of year the water's still freezing. It's like in the low 40s, but the air's starting to get warm because it's springtime, so the sun's out. So this month, all my buddies, we all have just little tans, just our face right here. Like with
there it is.
It's pretty funny, yeah. In California, you have like the sleeve tan, whatever. We just have the little raccoon tan.
Exactly right. So we get the neck tans and the wrist tans. You get the circle.
That's it. Yeah.
Well, dude, it's been amazing to see like the waves you've been submitting all week. Last 2 weeks, I should say. That one you got, I think you were the second person to sweep a heat in this event. You got all first place votes from the judges and the fans. I believe it was your quarterfinal. Just nuts. Like, can you kind of walk us through that day if you remember it?
Yeah, that was, I think, actually remember it was December 1st this year. There was just a day up north, south swell, where it blew super hard overnight, and then kind of mid-morning the wind switched and went offshore. And that's what kind of happens most of the time in swells around here. They're actually pretty predictable. We don't get them often, but when they do come, you pretty much know that it's gonna blow onshore super hard, and then when that cold front flips, the wind goes hard offshore. Pretty much like you can rely it's always gonna happen. So the trick is just getting it timed when that doesn't happen overnight. And this was one of those lucky swells where it didn't happen overnight. It kind of happened mid-morning. So we were out there as soon as the wind started to switch. So as you know, on the East Coast, like when that wind does switch, the size drops really quick. So you really only have like that hour and a half when you still have like the peak of the swell with those groomed offshore winds. And that happened to be the case that morning. In that kind of hour window, I just kind of lucked into that one. And I wanted to save it for the final, but after round one, I saw like the level of the clips, and I kind of had to re-strategize and think like maybe first place is a little too much of an objective, so maybe try to get that semifinal finish kind of in that thing. So that's why I threw it in the quarters. Little strategies, just because I know against the clips that I was seeing from the beginning rounds, I figured those guys had some pretty bangers saved for the final, and sure enough, it was true.
Sure enough, they did.
Yeah. Incredible surfing from like the younger guys, everyone in the event. Pretty cool to watch.
Yeah, I thought you placed that at the perfect time. If you would have saved it for the final, you might not have got to the final, just because those guys, Cade and Kay and Cole had such good clips in their semis, and then into that final. At lowers, they had so many clips, and but it was. I knew that clip was coming, just didn't know when. And I think that was a good moment to drop it, because you were able to get into the global final, which probably one of your objectives to do. And
exactly.
And so you finished top 4 and got a little bit of money. You made it into the money round in that semifinal. So I don't know. I thought you executed it perfectly well.
Yeah, I appreciate that. That was the plan. That was kind of cool. Like, going into this, like, is there really that much strategy? Because it's just kind of simple, like, format, but it ended up being, there was different little bits of strategy that you can kind of figure out. And that was a part of the format that surprised me, and a part that I really ended up enjoying. It's kind of like that strategy that goes into it, which is cool.
Definitely. It'll keep you on your toes.
Yeah, this adds another element. Super cool.
Absolutely. So now that you've got your kind of feet in the wax, so to speak, you've gotten in the semis, you're into the worlds. Now you're heading into a whole new animal, like taking on guys from around the world. So we're going to see, we were talking about this a little bit with Kate. It's just, you're looking at these clips from J-Bay and Europe with Ercea, and then you put New Jersey against that, it holds its weight. Like, you can see some of these clips that you've got, and I can see them holding up some weight against these waves.
Yeah, I appreciate that. That was another reason I was excited to kind of be part of this, is just kind of showcase the waves that we have here. I mean, people see them, but just kind of like, stacking them up against clips from that you more regularly see, like from the lowers, and then I guess in the world, same thing, all the like prominent spots that you see. So it's cool, kind of just like stacking that up. And I think all the hometown people that vote, they kind of get behind that, and they have a little bit of pride, local pride in that. So it's kind of cool. It involves everyone, and just appreciate the platform that you guys created for that.
Yeah, no, like Gustavo Duccini and Gary Linden, they set this thing in motion and never kind of looked back. Like, they think they started this thing, the concept started, I want to say, in almost a year ago, when they kind of foresaw events not really coming back into play over the summer. So they just wanted to give surfers a chance. And then next thing you know, here we are a year later, and it's a full-on thing. Yeah,
man, hats off to them. They crushed it. Like you said, especially some of the younger guys, I know they're just kind of sitting, waiting, kind of at the peaks of their careers, are just getting started. So to have something like this right now is just awesome to see, and stoked to see all the guys just surfing so well.
Definitely. Yeah, I was gonna say, and then Brillo with, looking at this younger generation that's in here. I mean, you look at the final, it was a 21-year-old and a 20-year-old in the final, and then going back, you have Cade, who's I believe still 18. I believe he turns 19 this year. I mean, just so there's 3 of the top 4, all within that 19 to 21-year-old gap. I mean, that just goes to show the depth that San Clemente has. You got guys on tour, and you got the Groms coming up. How good is that to see these generational surfers still kicking butt.
Yeah, well, these guys, they work hard on getting clips. They move around a lot. I know Kay went to the East Coast every time it got good. He was, practically, it seemed like he was everywhere. Wherever the waves were good, he was there with his filmer. And I think the younger generation, that's what they're doing, to stack clips. So it really benefited Kay, and the younger generation that has, that goes out and films a lot. And they were able to, have so many clips. It takes 7 really good ones, to do well and make the final. And I think there was a lot of people that were interested and they really wanted to do this event, but just didn't have the depth in clips. And even when the events come back full circle, next year or the end of this year or whenever that happens, I still think that this is a legitimate online series that's going to continue on. And I'd like to see more guys from the East Coast be represented, because we just had Rob out in New Jersey and Michael Dunphy from Virginia, really just 2 East Coasters. And I can see a lot more in the future.
Yeah, we were missing some of the heavy hitters, huh, Rob?
Yeah, like Brett Barley, I know he's stacking clip. I mean, there's so many guys. The list goes on. Cam Richards. So yeah, it'd be exciting to see them kind of bring what they got to the table, because I know they got some incredible waves, and they travel all over. Like Bill has said, they go to California when they're swell out there, and I think they can hold their own at lowers against some of the lowers guys. So it'd be actually cool to see the California guys come out to the East Coast and submit some clips, some barrel clips or whatever, air clips from the East Coast, and then the East Coaster guys mix it up at lowers, kind of mix it up.
Oh yeah, the boys will be ripping.
Yeah.
And just before I let you go, I did want to chime in on that note we were talking about with this generational shift and, seeing these younger guards step up and challenge this older guard. You're still in your late 20s, yeah?
31.
30, you're into the 30s. Welcome to the 30 Club, bud.
Okay, thank you.
So looking back to when you were, 16 to 18 and, even 20, what was kind of like the setup for kids your age to be getting clips, or was that even really a thing?
Yeah, there was a handful of guys that I guess were kind of ahead of their time that were doing it. But there wasn't really social media like there is now, where everything was kind of focused on contest results and I guess like magazine photos, really.
Yeah.
And then I guess there was still edits you put out on Surfline, or at that point it was still emphasis on like the actual surf movies, where you'd save clips for like a year and try to get a part or something. So it's definitely changed a lot. And I think the cool part of that, it kind of favors everyone. Whereas back in the day, if you didn't have the support from like a major sponsor, you weren't going on those mag trips, or you weren't being featured in the videos they were producing, you're kind of left in the dust regardless of how good you were surfing. Where now with social media contests like this, everyone kind of has an equal share, where if you're going out every day and ripping like those 16, 18, that's when you're really surfing every single day and putting in the work, because you're just motivated and you're that's the age you want it so bad. So it's cool platforms like this exist, that if you put in the work and you stack clips and you travel to swells and try to, like I said, put in the work, that it's going to pay off regardless of there's no real limitations. Everyone's kind of got a fair shot. If you work hard and stack clips, you'll start exceeding.
Yeah, absolutely. And then that can translate into contest results, because then your surfing's known. Like, really, you can attest to that. Like, having an unknown in a heat, you don't know what to expect really. And then sometimes they can send out fireworks, or it's, maybe they didn't surf as well as they could. But whenever you see someone stacking, like, some underground guys like Robbie McCormick, for instance, like you see him at a contest, you might be like, oh, this guy's got like kind of a weird style, but you watch his clips and he's ripping.
Yeah, no, it's exciting to watch everyone, on their social media and the variety of waves that everyone surfs in their hometowns and all that. And then when they show up to a contest and perform, that's what it's all about, right?
That's what it's all about. Well, speaking of, we are going to be back after a commercial break with our finalists to see who won this whole thing. Rob, we will see you soon at the World Championships. Cannot wait to see you there, man.
Great. Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. This was awesome.
Right on, Barillo. Thank you so much to you for joining us for these segments. Can't wait to see you soon. Hopefully get you in the water, get you swinging.
Sounds good. All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Rob. Thanks, Andrew.
Yeah, guys, thanks so much. All right, everyone watching, please stay tuned. We'll be back after these commercial breaks, and we'll find out who won this whole thing. So stay tuned. Thank you again. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Firewire ePro USA presented by Features Live Awards. We are here with our finalists, Cole Hoojman and Kei Kobayashi, some of San Clemente's finest. How we doing, boys?
Good to see you.
Doing good. Good to see you again.
Okay, dude, you guys are just ripping this whole event. Found your way in the final and just put on another lowers showcase for us. Cole, just kind of walk us through your wave selection throughout this event and what you're strategizing throughout it. How'd you go?
Yeah, it was pretty funny. I was looking back at all my clips from last year, and it was all my best clips were lowers clips. So I just submitted everything in there, and yeah, kind of tricky. I wasn't sure where to put my best waves, like if I wanted to make the rounds or save the best wave for last. I mean, it all worked out. I'm stoked. So, but yeah, it was a super cool platform. Yeah, stoked to just kind of put some waves out there and have some fun while we're not doing much right now.
Yeah, exactly. As I say, you can show the world what lowers is all about. And then Kay, same thing, just, showcasing that lowers right and left, but bringing that right into the final.
Yeah, it's such a cool format. I've never done that personally ever. So to be back on in an event and showcase our waves like from the best we had from 2020 was pretty cool. And yeah, like Cole said, all of our clips were from lowers, and yeah, in the beginning of the comp, we were kind of laughing and we were saying see you in the final, but it all worked out, and yeah, it's been a fun event so far.
For sure, yeah, that's good. Like seeing the final, and then there it is.
Yeah.
And just kind of looking back at this event, who are some guys that really stood out to you, or like were some underdogs that maybe he made it pretty far. Like, Kay, start with you. Like, who's someone that kind of stood out apart?
Yeah, everyone was ripping for sure. I would say like Ben Benson, Wesley Santos, like all those guys were like dropping like really good clips, and it was just really hard. And I'm sure Zeke had a lot more clips too as well. And yeah, it was just hard to like place which wave in each heat, because obviously you wanted to save the best for last, but you also wanted to make it through. So it was a good like strategy plan for everyone, and yeah, it was a cool format.
For sure. And then Cole, like obviously you came up against some heavy hitters all the way through it. You had Rob Kelly. I mean, had pretty much thought, a tough draw coming into it.
Yeah, no, that was super cool. I think, everyone was ripping in the event, and Kay, Cade Matson, Kevin Schultz, like those are all like my favorite guys. And then, but like definitely Rob Kelly had some insane clips. Like he posted that backside barrel in the quarterfinal, I believe.
Yeah.
And then I was matched up with him, and I was like, geez, like that thing was insane. I was like, if he's putting something better than that, like it's crazy. But it was definitely cool to like see he had like so many crazy like barrel clips, and then yeah, all the boys from like lowers, and then some cool Huntington stuff and stuff from like down south, like La Jolla area. So it was definitely a good mix of stuff and a lot of cool people to surf against.
Yeah, I was gonna say the boys are just putting it all on the line, like Then Rob Kelly, just New Jersey's finest, of course. Those nor'easters are. You guys have been over in Florida, and maybe have you guys been up to New Jersey in the past for contests?
Once or twice. I actually went with Kay there. Like,
yeah, we were Groms. It was so epic and sport.
But yeah, the waves get crazy out there for sure.
So you guys know what it's all about.
Yeah.
And just kind of moving forward, you know, now you're qualified into the World Championships alongside Rob and Cade. So San Clemente threesome heading in strong. How cool is that? Just to, you know, you're heading into this big event with, I believe it's going to be 40 men and I believe a handful of women. I'm trying to remember how many. Just from all over the world, we're going to see clips stacked up against each other from Portugal to US, Japan to Hawaii. Like, how cool is that? Kay, your thoughts?
Yeah, that's insane. When I heard about it, definitely my goal was to make the top 4, and super stoked to end up being in the top 4 and to go against like Japan, Europe, like Portugal, and everyone. It's pretty cool, like, to see what clips are going to come out. There's definitely going to be some big barrels, a lot of combos, so it should be really fun. Hopefully I can make a couple heats, and yeah, I'm excited to see how it all goes down.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting, man. Like, stack up some of those lowest clips against, you know, Portugal and see how they go. What do you reckon, Cole?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Kay said it best. I mean, it's gonna be like crazy to see like the platform, you know, of everyone from all these different waves all over the world. So it'll be interesting to see, you know, like Kay said, guys are gonna be getting barreled off their heads, and then we'll probably have some lowest clips in there. And, but yeah, I don't see. Stoked. I've never done this really before, like an online con like this. So just see how it goes, and I'm stoked for sure.
Absolutely. I was going to say, the boys are going to be sending them in. It's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah.
Well, all right, everybody, stay tuned. Thank you so much for tuning in. We're going to be right back after a quick commercial break from our sponsors, and we're going to crown a champion, boys. Let's get it going. We'll see you in a second. We'll be right back. All right, and we're back for the final announcement of who wins this event of the Firewire ePro USA presented by Futures. You boys want to find out who won?
Let's hear it. Yeah.
Let's get a drum roll, please. It is Kei Kobayashi. Takes it down with his lowers right-hand bomber. Just absolutely went off on that thing.
Oh,
yeah,
sick.
okay.
Thanks, boys.
Dude, so just how you feeling right now, man? You just took this whole thing down.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I'm super stoked. This was one of the coolest formats I've ever done. And to go against Cole in the final and all San Clemente final is super cool. Last time I had a final was with Taj Lindblad in Cocoa Beach, so it's cool to go back-to-back San Clemente again. So yeah, I'm super stoked, and thanks for having me.
Absolutely. San Clemente's been holding it strong. I think like that was something even just working with WSL back a couple of years ago, even just seeing this surge of San Clemente guys come up. You had, you know, yourself, Cole, Cade, just Crosby, all the boys just started stepping their game up. Kind of like, what can we expect from San Clemente?
Yeah, we need more guys on tour, I would say. I think Cole would agree.
Definitely.
Sick. Well, congratulations, Kay. We'll see you at World Championships. Looking forward to seeing what you got from there. And Cole, what are you thinking just heading into the World Championships with a runner-up under your belt?
Yeah, I'm stoked. Congrats, Kay. Probably going to be hearing about this one for a little bit. And no, yeah, I mean, I was stoked. Like, that was the closest thing we've had to a comp in the last year. So, yeah, it felt good to put some waves out there and surf against your friends. And yeah, looking forward to the championship and hopefully get some banger clips to submit. So I'm looking forward to it.
No, absolutely. I was gonna say, get them filming. Get them filming.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, dude, thank you guys so much for joining us. Thank you to the fans for watching. This doesn't happen without you guys. Thank you so much for voting and tuning in for everything throughout the last 2 weeks. You got to enjoy quite the show, that's for sure. As we head into the World Championships, we're gonna have Hawaii coming up next, so a lot of pipeline coming, I'm sure. That's going to be great to watch. And big shout out to our sponsors, Firewire Surfboards, Futures Fins, and Simba Helmets for hooking everything up, along with Surf Open League for giving us this platform and for, you know, giving you guys something to do. Like, can't thank all our sponsors enough, and of course the surfers. You guys put on the show. We can't thank you enough.
So yeah.
Sick. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you guys for putting on this event. Super cool, and looking forward to more of it in the future.
Awesome. Well, we'll see you boys in Worlds, and we'll see the rest of you fans tuning in Hawaii. So we'll see you soon. Thanks so much again. We'll see you soon.
See you guys.
Yeah.